What's up, good people? Welcome back to another episode of Undrafted Views. We're here. We talk sports from the sidelines. And today we're going to give you our 5 observations from the Chicago Bulls West Coast road trip. Let's get into it.
So the Chicago Bulls are currently still in the top 6 in the Eastern Conference, having won 6 of the last 10. What are some of your observations from their recent West Coast trip?
I'm going to start off with my first one. I have recognized that they need Nikola Vucevic on the floor. That's just,
Yes.
I can't. Vooch is needed on the floor. And although Vooch is not scoring at the same capacity as he was when he was with the Orlando Magic, and I get it because his role is different, right?
Mhm.
However, what he provides to the Chicago Bulls is was totally missed on this road trip. He can give you at least a double-double, at least. His rebounding and his ability to play in the paint and outside the paint and to be able to go up against other centers in the league was something that I totally missed. Now, Tony Bradley, he did his best. He's not a starter, and so I didn't expect him to be Vooch, but Vooch is needed on this roster, and hurry back.
You know, that's one of my observations as well. There is no way around it. They need Vooch. Now, whether or not he's the third option, that's still up for debate. But we need Vooch on the court. I mean, because if you think about it, Vooch can get you 13 and 10, and he can take up space in the middle. That's what the Bulls need, because I'm telling you, these Eastern Conference teams, they have some serious bigs. And, Tony Bradley, I don't know if he's up for the job.
And I don't think they brought him in to do that job. That's the thing. He was brought in to recover, Vooch, when he steps out for a minute. So he was brought into the starting lineup, and I don't think he was prepared for it. And should he be? Because that's not his role, right? So he did the best he could, of course, considering the circumstances. Who knew Vooch was not going to be able to make it out of Dallas? No, I'm just joking. But who knew that his last game would be Dallas before they hit the road? So, I mean, hey, they were able to come out with some wins, the Bulls, and so I think it was okay. But if this road trip did anything, for the number one thing for me is that they need him on this roster, and without him, I don't know if the Bulls will be able to continue their pace of play as the season progresses. So that's critical for them.
Yeah, I mean, they look good right now, but you know what? My second observation is Lonzo Ball has shown me why he was selected at the top of his draft class. I'm starting to see it now. I am on the Lonzo Ball train officially.
Wait, why is that one of my observations as well? This road trip is beginning to make me a fan. Now, I didn't feel him when he was with the Los Angeles Lakers. I'm sorry, I didn't get it. It's not top of the class. I didn't get it. And he was a disappearing act from me when he was with the New Orleans Pelicans. I didn't get it. I still didn't get it. But this Lonzo Ball with the Chicago Bulls.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yep.
That one right there on offense and defense.
Yes.
The light. I see the light. I see it. I get it. And I have now become a fan of the Chicago Bulls, Lonzo Ball. I'm not going to get on board with anything he did with the Pelicans, and I can't get on board with anything he did with the Los Angeles Lakers. But this one right here, this ball right here, is balling.
Yeah.
He can give you, and let me tell you, when his 3 ball is hitting, 7 of 10.
Yeah.
He did that twice with Dallas before the road trip and again with the Lakers. You know what? My thing is this. Lonzo Ball, when you come into the game, every game you play, I want you to have the mentality that you're playing against the Lakers. I need for you the Lakers mentality that you had when you played the Lakers' West Coast road trip. I want you to carry that in every game you play, because that Lonzo,
yeah.
And not only that, let me say, he really made me excited with this West. Did you see how he was defending Damian Lillard?
Oh, they didn't know what to do. Yeah. Yeah. Lonzo Ball, I am so proud of him. I feel like I've been tough on him, and finally he's starting to show me, okay, look, I belong in the NBA. I was second overall for a reason, and everything my dad said was correct.
It's finally coming to pass, because I'm telling you, the hype, I missed it. I didn't see it. Maybe I don't know what I was looking for, and I could have been overshadowed by his dad's over praise of him, I think, and I think that may have clouded my vision. But the one that I'm seeing, that Lonzo Ball that I'm seeing right now, spectacular. Like I get it. His passing ability, I can see his IQ, the way he defends.
Yeah, his defense.
I'm okay with his pass first mentality. I had a problem with it at first. I'm like, if you don't lay up that ball when you up under the basket. However, now what I am understanding and watching him play more and more is that he's looking for the best option, and I'm okay with that. Like Lonzo, do all of you right now. I love it.
I'm telling you, when Caruso and Lonzo are both playing defense, I mean, they're in the passing lanes. Do not make any lazy passes, because guess what? Lonzo and Caruso, they're going the other way. It's just amazing to see. And now that Kobe White is back, I also think that lit a fire under Lonzo, because it's like, no, I got this starting spot. Don't even think about it, Kobe.
You know what? And I don't want them to change that. However, I do believe that that Billy Donovan will make adjustments. I trust that if it ain't looking right, he's going to switch it out. I don't think I was listening to something, and one of the guys was saying that he doesn't see Billy Donovan being beholden to any starting lineup. And I'm like, I can see that. We'll see how the season continues. But Lonzo Ball right now, you got it.
He does. All right. What's your third observation?
Okay. Speaking of Caruso, can I just tell you that although he may not show up consistently in point production, that defense for Caruso is nagging, and players don't know what to do with it. No, the Lakers have to be kicking themselves. You cannot tell me that they're not. Now, the other people that they traded, and that's all fine, but the one person that the Lakers have to say, what did we just do? Alex Caruso is amazing on defense. That was another observation. And what's so critical about that, I know right now sometimes he's put in the starting lineup, but that defense and what he's able to do off the bench is what the Bulls need, because I think that I'll go into my other observation, but Alex Caruso really is a defensive genius on this particular Chicago Bulls team. What he can put together, it's these teams don't know what to do with it. Players don't know what to do with it. It's nagging. It's almost like, really, and the teams have to adjust when he comes on the floor.
Caruso is definitely a game changer. And if you look at the stat line, you might be deceived, but what he can do, he reminds me of like a PJ Tucker. I'm not going to fill the stat sheet, but I'm going to affect this game, and I will be the reason why we win or possibly lose basketball games.
Yes. His impact on the team is critical to success. It is critical. Therefore, he shows his production will never reflect unless it's a steal, unless it's a rebound and an assist. But other than that, that hustle, that don't show up on the stat line. The way he gets players to have to pass and double pump and step out of line. Step out of bounds. All of that will never show up on the stat line. But that's what he brings. And that's what you need, right? And you're right to kind of, make him comparable to PJ Tucker. I have to agree with you on that. Yeah. Because PJ Tucker is strong. Yeah. So I agree 100%. Alex Caruso. Yep. And that heightened on this road trip in the West Coast. Yes.
Yeah. I was a little concerned when he was out with his wrist injury. Glad he was able to come back and make an impact. You can't teach hustle. You either have it or you don't, Yeah. All right. So my last observation is, are we going to crown DeMar DeRozan the MVP this season? I mean, he's been so amazing. So happy to see. Now, I thought he was dope in Toronto. He kind of fell off for me in San Antonio. But this DeMar DeRozan I'm seeing for the Chicago Bulls in the role that he currently has, he's embracing all of it. And it is exciting to see.
DeMar DeRozan is, I think his stint with the Spurs was just, I'm sorry. The league needs to apologize to DeMar DeRozan. They need to apologize to him. Sending him to the Spurs. Yeah. However, maybe that time out of the spotlight was what was needed for his career to finally blossom again, right? Which leads me to my next observation. that DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine duo, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. If when they are both on, it's nice. But because they both can create, right, and score at what makes them special, because they can both do that. If one is off, you always have the other one to supplement. It's the balance, I think, that I really appreciate. And then you bring in Vooch and Ball, and then and then you got your ancillary pieces on the bench. But this roster can be something that can most definitely still be in the top 6 at the end of the season.
Oh, absolutely.
So yes, so the duo between Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan for me is really, I love to see it. I love the chemistry, and I think it exudes itself when you see them play. So it's amazing.
Yeah, you know who I think their X factor is though?
Who?
Ayo. I like the young fella. I really like him.
You know, another observation that was highlighted for me during this West Coast run was that the bench is inconsistent in offense. Now, defense, the bench is pretty good. One of my concerns about the Bulls team overall and their roster is that what does the bench look like, and will they always consistently show up? Now, we know that as you get deeper into the season, bench play becomes important. So you need players like Derrick Jones Jr., Ayo, Caru-Show when he's not starting. Kobe White is now back, so hopefully he'll be able to finally get his rhythm because he's been out since June. I get it. He's recovering, so it's going to take him a minute to get back in. But I need to see more consistency from the bench. That's one thing that I noticed, and that it's just sometimes it's just not consistent enough for me.
Well, I think when Vooch comes back, Patrick Williams is out for the season.
I know.
So it kind of shuffled the bench a little bit, and it probably pushed those who weren't ready to play a large role into the spotlight. So there's that, but I think they'll be all right. In the bench play, you're absolutely right. When you get closer and the season starts winding down and you get into the playoffs and then someone suffers an injury, I hope it doesn't happen, but hey, it's basketball,
It's basketball, and some of these teams are extremely physical. So if you're going to be playing up against them, you got to be ready. And I think that's just one of the things, it's an observation, one of the things that I would like to see them improve on, and hopefully it will happen, naturally once the season progresses. But that's something that I'll be continuously looking at when I'm watching the games, because I just need to see more from them. Collectively. Yeah. Individually, they show up, and you got Ayo put 14 points, and you got Derrick Jones Jr. that'll come in. But I don't know. For me right now, it's just not enough.
Okay. So the Bulls went 3-1 on their West Coast road trip. They beat the LA Clippers, the Lakers, and the Denver Nuggets, and they lost to Portland, even though Lonzo lit them up. So
yeah, they got a little laxed in the third quarter. I think they could have won that game. That game showed me why Vooch was needed, because he could have been able to handle Nurkic. I just think that was one of the. So, if you were wondering why Vooch is needed on this roster, if you had doubts during this West Coast tour, I would say watch the Portland game, because I think that game, I was just kind of like, oh, right there. Oh, Vooch, you need that's what you need right here, Vooch. And I think that was one of the things that caused them. Number one, the fact that they just kind of, they were up like 15 points at the half. Third quarter came in, and the Chauncey Bullets must have said, okay, since I played, I already know what y'all need to do this. And that's what they did. And they just pretty much wiped the Bulls right out. And they didn't have to do that. I think they could have won the game for sure.
Yeah. Shout out to Chauncey for exploiting that,
He did. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if it would have been successful had Vooch been on the floor. That's just all I'm saying. So, it's when hopefully they'll play them again. I haven't went that far down into their schedule, but hopefully with Vooch is there and everybody else is still there and the team is intact, we'll see what that matchup looks like again. But yeah.
How about, one night you might have DeMar, drop 36, and then the following night LaVine just decide he want to drop 38. Like, that is so great to have on your roster.
And then don't let Lonzo Ball shoot 7 to 10 and you got 27. Like, yeah, it can go. And then when Vooch come back with his 10 boards and 13 points, like, what y'all gonna do with that in the East? I can tell you right now, it's a nice. They are a true competitor. I will tell you that. And do you have a concern with DeMar DeRozan having too many touches? You think that's going to impact his play long term?
You know what? At first, I was concerned about LaVine having too many touches. Now it looks like it kind of flip-flopped to DeMar having. I think it's okay as long as the two of them can stay hot and can continue to share the ball, and not one person decides they want to play hero ball and just take all the shots, because then that's a problem.
Yeah, I don't get that from them, which is really great about their chemistry. That's why I like the duo. So yeah, okay. Yes, I think about that. Again, we're only about 16, 17 games into the season. We still got a lot of play to do, and so it's just making sure that you can balance that all out. But yeah, the Bulls, I don't know.
Yeah, the Bulls are back. It seems
save
like
my seat on that bandwagon, because I'm just going to get some water. I mean, I'm just telling you, it's really. I look forward to their matchups. I can't say I was looking forward to their matchups in the previous season. I'm just being honest. They were horrible.
Oh, no, absolutely not. Yeah, no.
When LaVine can give you 40, but they still lose. Like, it's just like, So, yeah. This Bulls team for this 2021-22 season, y'all got me.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, you guys, we're going to wrap up this episode on the Chicago Bulls. Make sure you drop down in the comments and let us know what some of your observations were from the Bulls, West Coast road trip. We will see you guys on the next one. But until then,
peace.
Peace, y'all.